तो मैं सर आपको परिचय कराना चाहती हूँ। हमारे बीच चेन्नई से आए हुए मिस्टर संजय हैं जो ये ट्रेनिंग दे रहे हैं। इन्होंने 18,000 से ज़्यादा लोगों को ट्रेन किया है। बेसिक जो जीवन रक्षा का वो ट्रेनिंग होती है, और ये आज इनका 200 आज इनका सेशन है अकेले इनका, और इनकी संस्था बहुत साल से, हाउ मेनी 2 years तो जी उनसे काम कर रही है। तो ये हम लोग का सौभाग्य है कि वो आज हमारे बीच में है एक दिन के लिए, पर हम लोग डेफिनेटली उसको आगे भी बढ़ाएंगे। तो कार्यक्रम जब चल रहा था सर मिस्टर संजय बता रहे थे कि क्या इनकी संस्था के बारे में, तो मैं आपसे प्लीज कम एंड टेल अबाउट योर होल प्रोग्राम एंड योर NGO.
So Alert is a NGO. So it founded in 2nd October 15 years ago. So yesterday was our anniversary, 15th anniversary for our NGO. So why it started with a simple mission to save lives. So it is not started by doctors, of course with the support of great doctors behind it. It is started by a lay people who is living a corporate life. So while they are in the corporate life, daily day-to-day accidents that used to happen in the roads. So after seeing it, they want to do something to the society. So once they started learning it, they felt that it is easy, anyone can able to learn it. So this is a small motive, it started, and of course a big man, the missile man of India was behind it, its mission, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir. So he gave a mission to our Alert NGO in a very simple statement to train one in every family. So it was a very simple statement to train one in every family. So that is our mission which we are walking towards it. So to train one in every family, we must train 25 crores of people in India alone, right? So far we have trained 1.6 lakhs of people, the common citizens over it, on all sorts of audience, schools, colleges, Navy, Army, even the doctors we have trained. So this is the motive behind it, and thank you so much for the management, for the companies, and for the all giving an opportunity, and thanks especially for you to come here on your busy schedules on a Sunday morning, right? So this is a small intro about our NGO. So we will see it to be explained, the sessions we will see it. Thank you.
कल जब मुझे पता चला कि यहाँ पर लोगों को बचाने के लिए CPR ट्रेनिंग दिए जाने के लिए एक प्रोग्राम का आयोजन किया जा रहा है, जिसमें चेन्नई से भी लोग पधारे, और नकुल सिन्हा जी की तरफ से ऐसा संदेश मुझे मिला, तो मुझे लगा ये अच्छा अवसर है और लोगों से जुड़ने का, मिलने का। तो मुझे आज बाहर जाना था, तो हमने सोचा इसके बाद मैं जाऊंगा। तो मैं यहाँ से फिर मुझे चित्रकूट जाना है, पहले सुबह जल्दी जाना था, अब इस कार्यक्रम के बाद जाऊँ। मैं बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ इस कार्यक्रम की सफलता के लिए।
Want to learn, or some medical emergency, something happens, what can we do, right? So apart from that, just say me, you are going to learn it for yourself or it is for someone? For ourselves, and it is for the others, right? Mostly whenever people want to learn the term first aid, people think I'm going to save someone. Okay, it is not someone. You are going to learn it for yourself. It is first thing going, it's only for you, right? So entering into the session, so how can you gift a life? So this is what which we are going to learn in another 45 minutes, right? So going into the session, so as I told brief about our NGO, so Alert is an NGO that trains people in first aid and medical emergencies. And no notes, don't try to remember. It will be a difficult statement. Rather, don't try to remember. I will explain you at the last. So I want you to take only 4 points out of this hall. 4 points, does it is tough?
No.
Just 4 points. It will be easy points. If you take these 4 points out of this hall, I can assure you, you can save a life. Okay? So entering into the, so these are the few topics which we will be seeing today: chain of survival, vitals, basic life support, CPR and AED. So starting about the chain of survival. So these are the 5 chains. Okay, you could be able to easily identify it. So what is this? So when there is an emergency happens, whom do you call?
Yes.
The ambulance, I mean the medical emergency side, right? The first person you call is the ambulance 108 or you dial 112, right? So this is the first chain. And the second chain, there is a two hands holding together. Have you seen it somewhere? You might have seen in the any of the movies. Yes, when somebody drowns inside the water, okay, they take them off the shore and they will be compressing the stomach, but that is not a right place. We must compress in their chest. It is called as CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. The full form we may not memorize it, just have it as a CPR. And the third one, have you seen it anywhere? Something like an electric shock. Where exactly? See in the movies, right? So the doctors used to, like some two iron box kind, they give the electric shock. So that is called as a defibrillator, where a doctor can use. But what is exactly here is, there is a device called AED, automated external defibrillator. So it is for a common lay person like us, where we can able to deliver shock to a person when there is a need. Now where the AED is available, if you take in case of foreign, the AEDs are available for every street. But unfortunately, India, it is not there. Only in the airports or the big malls you can able to see the AEDs, right? So AED also will just for a knowledge purpose, you will learn it. And there goes, it is the ambulance, and this is a hospital setup, okay? Now any medical emergency happens, if you want to reach your home, if you cross these chains smoothly, the person's chances of survival will be high, okay? But what happens in the daily day-to-day life is, there is a breakage between these two chains. Why exactly is, everyone call an ambulance, right? We call ambulance, and what is next until the ambulance comes is, most of the times we don't do anything, we have no idea what exactly to be done. So meanwhile, in that particular time, the necessary first aid which should be administered, we could have able to save a life. So that is where Alert NGO is training people on first aid and medical emergencies. So coming to the vitals, so there are 3 vitals in the human body that need to be preserved, okay? So what is vital on a layman term, I will tell you, okay? Imagine there is a person here. You want to say whether the person is alive or not on a layman term, okay? You will be checking for few things, right? A, B, C, something you will be checking for few things. What are those? Pulse, good. Breathing, good. Those basic things we will be seeing, right? So there is something called C. What is this C is? Circulation. Okay, the C is circulation, is nothing but your pulse. Okay, there is something called A, it is the airway. So why airway is playing a major role? I will tell you. Imagine I am holding you like this. Okay, what will happen after 1 minute? It will choke, you will be suffocating. What will happen after 2 minutes? After 5 minutes? Faint. It's gone. Right? So this is why airway plays a very major role. If something happens to this airway, so as airway is your passage path between your mouth to your lungs. So if something happens to your airway, you could not able to breathe, right? So this is why airway is important, and B is nothing but breathing. So these are the 3 basic vitals that we will be checking it. So how we will check the circulation? How will you check the pulse? How will you check the pulse? The hand? Do you think really it is possible for a lay person? Yes? It is difficult for a lay person because you will be in a panic, you will be in a chaos, that will be difficult. The other place where you can check is in your neck. I will tell you how exactly to do. Take your 2 fingers. Everyone please take your 2 fingers. Okay? Right from your center of the throat. Okay, right from your center of the throat, 2 inches either right or left. place your two fingers gently and feel your pulse and tell me that you are alive or not. Yes? You are alive. Okay. Now take another 5 seconds. Check for the next person. Okay, check for the next person to your right or left and check the pulse for them and tell them they are alive or not. Actually, alive or not is not a right term, but since we are a lay persons, I am using it. That was I'm putting it as a disclaimer. Yes, everyone are alive? Just tell me if somebody is not having their pulse. You have to call an ambulance. He is alive. Good. Yes, everybody could able to see? Okay, so this is how we check the circulation, the pulse. Okay. So airway. So talking about the airway, if somebody is unconscious, okay, any person who is unconscious, there are chances that airway might be closed. Okay, it might be something suspicious about how can the airway might be closed. There will be a video coming. Okay, you see the video and you tell me what exactly is wrong, right?
The airway is the passageway between the mouth and lungs. The airway must be open so air can enter and leave the lungs freely. Blockage of the airway is most commonly caused by the relaxation of the tongue when a victim becomes unresponsive.
Okay, so the speed which I am going is perfectly fine,
Yeah.
or I am going it too fast?
No, it's all right.
Okay, fine.
Let me ask people. इसको हिंदी में बताने की जरूरत तो नहीं है.
I think किसी को भी
Perfectly fine. Okay. So can you identify what exactly happened here in this video? What is this? The tongue is falling back, blocking your airway. Okay, so why exactly this happens is when a person is conscious, okay, the tongue stands straight. But when you are going unconscious, as your tongue, which is not having the bone, it could not able to withstand, it will be falling back, blocking your airway. So that is what exactly happens here, and it is called as tongue fall back. Simple term. Tongue is falling back and blocking your airway. So obviously you have to remove this obstruction. So how can you remove this? There is a simple technique called head tilt chin lift. So what you have to do is one hand on the forehead. Okay, you have to place one hand on the victim's forehead, two fingers on the chin bone, two fingers on the chin bone, and you have to gently lift it. You have to gently lift it. So when you lift it, what exactly happens? I will show it in the video. Again, everything is demonstrated in the video, right? So you can see it. So opening the airway is called as head tilt chin lift. Video for it.
Tilting the head and lifting the chin will pull the tongue away from the back of the throat and open the airway. Don't press too hard on the soft area under the chin. Doing so can block the airway. Also, don't push the mouth completely closed.
Do not push too hard, taking the neck out of the body, right? So that is the point you have to take care. Be gentle while opening the airway. Okay. So now you know how to open the airway. So please be gentle while opening the airway. Breathing. How can you check for the breathing? Yes, you can able to check it through the. But due to the COVID, people will be wearing the mask. You can't remove the mask and put your finger, right? So obviously, look at the person abdomen. So the abdomen will rise, fall. So you can able to see the abdomen rise where the person is breathing or not, right? So these are the three vitals. It is nothing but an inhalation process and exhalation process. So here comes a very most important point number 1, which you have to take outside the hall. Okay, can you all read it for me?
Do not give any fluids
Do not give any fluids to
to the victim.
the victim. So when any medical emergency happens, what is the first thing that we do?
पानी पिलाना.
Yes. I think पानी नहीं पिलाना.
Yes. Somebody please give me a water. What we will do?
No.
Do we sprinkle?
Yeah.
We pour it, we do everything, right? But what is given here absolutely opposite, right? Do not give any fluids to the victim. I will tell you what will happen when you give fluids to a victim. There are chances the victim might die in less than 2 minutes of time. Okay, when you are giving water to an unconscious victim, there are chances the victim might die in less than 2 minutes of time. It might be a home or it may be a road or any place. The first thing which you have to look is, you have to check whether the scene is safe or not. For let us assume it is a road, right? There are vehicles might be passing by. So first thing is, you have to look for whether the scene is safe or not, and you have to approach the victim. And as I told you earlier, the 4 points, okay, one point which you have covered, and the second point is here, don't move a trauma victim. So what is the trauma victim is? Any victim who goes unconscious. Do not move. Okay, so why we should not move is, normally how do we lift a person? One person holds the hands, other person holds the leg and we lift, right? When you hold like this, how their body shape is? Like a curve shape or a U shape. When you lift a person like this, their entire body weight will act on their spine, where there are chances it might get damaged. If it gets damaged, there are chances the person might be paralyzed for their rest of the life. So this is the most important point number 2. What you have to do? Do not lift or shift a victim. So 2 points we have covered. What is the first point? Do not give water. Don't sprinkle water. Simple. Second thing, do not move. We are just going to see. So 2 most important points, the 50% we have covered, right? The other 50% is what we are going to see. So once you see a victim, you find a victim is unconscious, okay? So you have to check the response. You are seeing a victim, you are going to just check the response by gently tapping on the shoulder and shouting loud, "Sir, are you okay? Sir, can you hear me? Sir?" So gently going to tap the shoulder. Don't tap on the cheek. Why? When you tap on the cheek, this movement is getting disturbed, right? So shoulder is your strongest bone in your body, so that is why you are going to tap on the shoulder. So gently tap and shout loud, "Sir, are you okay? Sir, can you hear me? Sir?" So he is not responding. So when a person is not responding, what does it mean? You are responding, you are shouting, you are calling, the person is not at all responding. What exactly it is? Whatever it might be, that person needs a immediate help, right? Immediate help. So this is the exact time you have to call an ambulance. Okay, now you tell me, you will call an ambulance or you will ask the surrounding people to call an ambulance? Always utilize the people, because you know something, you have to be with the person.
Yes.
Okay, so ask the nearby person to call for ambulance. So can I say someone call the ambulance?
each other's face.
Exactly. When you say someone call an ambulance, who is that someone?
No one.
It is no one, right? So always point a particular person and ask him to call an ambulance. Sir, can you please call an ambulance? Sir, ma'am, you please come for the help. When you point a person to call for an ambulance, we are assuring that the person is having a responsibility, that the person will be calling it. So this is how the way you have to ask a person to call for an ambulance. So tell one person to call for an ambulance and another person to bring a AED. If there is an AED, if you are in an airport, Delhi airport or any place, of course the AED will be available. You can ask the security person to bring a AED. If not, you can just ask them to call for an ambulance. So after calling ambulance, you are going to check the vitals. So for us, we will just check generally the breathing. Not like this. As I told you, we will be checking the breathing by looking at the abdomen. Okay, so you are calling the ambulance. Now we are going to check the breathing by looking at the abdomen. But before checking the breathing, if you can able to open the airway and check. Okay, one hand on the forehead, two fingers on the chin, open the airway and look for the chest rise. Why it is? Because it might be blocked, right? If it is blocked, it will be suffocating. You would not be able to breathe. So that is a simple thing. Just open the airway, look for breathing, whether the person is breathing or not, for a minimum of 5 seconds. A minimum of 5 seconds to 10 seconds, whether the person is breathing or not. Okay. Now, if the person is breathing, what can we do? Again tap until the person wakes. You can keep on tapping, right? Okay. So if the person is breathing, we are going to put a person in a position called recovery position. Most important point number 3. Okay, is it a simple position? Just turning the person to the side. Okay, the person is lying flat. We are just going to turn the person to the side. It is nothing but recovery position. Can I have any one volunteer so that I can demonstrate it? Any male volunteer? Yes, sir, please. Yeah, ma'am, you want to ask something?
This side, we turn.
Which side? Yeah, I will tell you, ma'am. Can you lie down, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Perfectly fine. Right, now we got a real victim. Okay. Now imagine, now we got a victim. So what is the first step which we have to do before entering into him? I mean the initial step. There is a medical emergency I am looking at. First thing is I have to check whether the scene is safe or not. So why exactly on the stage I am checking the scene safety is, there are chances an electric wire cable might be there, and because of that the gentleman is falling down, right? Now just imagine I'm going and tapping him. Now what will happen? I will be the next victim, I will be lying down here, right? So this is the why you are just looking for the safeties. I am looking for safety, nothing is there. What is the second step? Superb. Tap on the shoulder. Sir, are you okay, sir? Can you hear me? Sir? No, he is not responding. Sincerely, he is wearing his spectacles. I am keeping it aside. Okay? I have tapped the shoulder, he is not responding. What we have to do? Check for vitals.
No, check for breathing.
Check for breathing. What about the ambulance, ma'am? Yes? Most of the time we forget this. We check the response, we directly go for the breathing part, but we have to call for the ambulance. Sir, can you please call the ambulance? Sir, you please come for the help. So I have assigned the one person to call for ambulance and one person to assist me, right? Now I am checking for breathing. I am just doing the head tilt, chin lift. Is it audible to the last, right?
Yes.
So I am checking whether the person is breathing or not. I can able to see the abdomen rise a little, is breathing. Okay, so what I have to do is put the person in a position called recovery position. So simple step, the hand which is towards my side, I am placing it in a L position. Okay, making sure when I am pulling him towards my side, he must not roll on his own hands, right? So that is why making it in a L position. Take the other hand, lock it on the shoulder, just for your convenience. Now imagine this person is 200 kg. Will it be easy for a person like me to pull?
No.
Obviously it will be difficult. So the other side of the leg, make it in an inverted V so that it will be easy for you to pull the person. One hand on the shoulder, one hand on the knee, gently pull. After pulling, put a side stand. What stand?
Side stand.
Side stand, just how you put for a cycle, just put a side stand, and the hand which is here, take it and place it as a pillow. Okay? You got this position?
Yes.
Yes, first step, second step, third step, and the fourth step, and the final step will be like this. Do not worry about the side. Whichever the side you are, turn the person towards your side. Don't push on the other side. For example, if the person is lying here, I'm pulling the person on the other side, what will happen? He will fall. Let us assume it is a mountain hilly area which is quite pitch dark. You don't know what is there on the other side. You are pulling the person, right? Sorry, pushing the person. What will happen? First aid is gone. Right? We finish the first aid. We can lead to home. Okay, the first aid should not be like that. That is the very reason. Always pull the person towards your side because your side is safe. Okay, simple. Thank you, sir. Okay, you got the third point, the most important point. So when do you do this position? When the person is breathing or not breathing?
Breathing.
Breathing. When a person is breathing, you turn the person to the side. So what are the benefits? Okay, we are doing something, and what are the benefits behind it? So the person will be like this, as the head is below heart. Okay, as the head is below the heart quite a little, the blood circulation to the heart, to the brain will be little higher, so the person will regain his conscious a little soon. Okay, and the second reason, chin is up, so the airway is open. When the person is lying flat, what happens to his airway? The tongue falls back. Now the person is in their side. Now where does the tongue fall? Simple logic. Now the tongues fall on the side. Now the person can able to breathe on his own. Right? A simple position which is efficient to make the person breathe on his own. And a third reason, vomit or any fluids. Okay, let us assume a road accident, any vomits or fluids. When you turn the person to their side, all the liquids will come out of their mouth. So this is the very reason you are turning the person to the side. If you take road accidents, mostly 97% of the road accident that you see will end with the recovery position. Okay, it will end with the recovery position as most of the victims will be breathing. So worst case scenario, if the person is not breathing, we go for something called CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, to preserve the brain function till the ambulance comes. Okay, so this is what CPR. So CPR is nothing but this. What is this three? Vitals. This three together we call as vitals, right? So this three vitals which we are going to preserve. That means the circulation have stopped, the airway something happened, the breathing something happened. You are going to do this artificially from outside. It's nothing but CPR. Okay, so one by one we will go. So circulation, what we have to do for the circulation is 30 compression, 2 inches to 100 compressions per minute. So what I will explain you. So once you are checking whether the person is not breathing, okay, I'm opening the airway, checking the person is not breathing, you have to go for CPR. So what is the main logic of CPR is, I'm going to do the function of the vitals from outside. So what is the first vital? Circulation. Okay, so what is the function of the circulation? The heart pumps. Okay, simple logic. I'm going to do the function of pumping from outside. Okay, so we are going to place the center of the heel. We are going to place the center of the heel in the center of the chest. So where exactly is, you have your rib cage bone, right? So once if you connect, there will be an inverted V point. So from this inverted V point, 2 inches above where.
आवाज आ रही है सबको किसी में पूछा था.
So from here, 2 inches above where exactly the center of heart is. So locate that point, place your heel in the center. You should not go that side or you should not go that side, place it in the center. So I am placing it, lock with the other hand. Okay, lock with the other hand and hold it like this. Place it, lock it. Okay, make sure your elbows are straight and we have to lean towards the person. When you are leaning, automatically the body compress. Okay, it is fine. Okay, you have to lean towards the person. You should not be like this, because if you are like this pumping, it will be hard. Even I can't do it, right? So place it. Make sure you are in a L position and make your elbow straight. Okay, so how many compressions? 30. So I am counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So after 20 again we started from 1, 2. Why? Any idea? Simple. 21 is tough. Yes, 21, 22 I will be getting lot of breath. So again I am going from 1, 2, 3, 4. Not a big deal. Okay. So 30 compression is done 2 inches deep. Okay. So in this mannequin you will be getting a tick sound. So you can able to know that you are compressing 2 inches deep. But in real life will you be getting a sound? Tuck, tuck, tuck. You won't get it, but the feel. 2 inches deep, you can able to feel it. Okay, 100 compressions per minute. So what does it mean is, how much your heart beats a minute? On average is 80. Your heart beats, right? But if you are giving 60 to 80, will it be efficient? Obviously no, right? So I am going to give 100. So imagine this is the rate I am pumping. What happens to the heart? You can see the visual here, right? I am visually projecting you the heart, right? It pumps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this speed is enough. You should not be going too fast, or you should not be going too slow. You can able to see this, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Sorry,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is what the 3 points are covered. 30 compressions, 2 inches deep, 100 compressions per minute. So a simple sentence to do an effective CPR: do hard as possible, do fast as possible, with only one condition: allow recoil after every compression. So once you compress, release, compress, release. So this point you have to take care. So this is a video what happens inside your body. When you compress, your heart pumps, the blood reaches your brain. At the same time, from the lungs, the air expands and it goes outside. Comes back, flows in the heart, again the air comes, flows inside the lungs. So this is what happens when you do the compression part. And we go to the airway part. So after 30 compressions, right? After 30 compressions, you open the airway. Okay, after 30 compressions, you open the airway. So breathing part, I will teach you, right? Just for your knowledge purpose, breathing part I will teach you. But due to the COVID pandemic, you should not give the breathing. It is restricted worldwide. So you should not give the breathing, but still for your knowledge purpose, I will teach you. So check for any external objects in the mouth. Pinch the nose and lift the chin. Place your mouth over this or provide 2 deep breaths. Check for breathing after providing the resuscitation. So I have completed the 30 compressions. Now do the chin lift. Okay, until chin lift. Pinch the nose. Pinch the nose and open the mouth. We are going to place your mouth over the person's mouth. So how you will keep this? How do you bite an apple?
Okay.
Right, same we are going to lock the entire mouth, and you have to give 2 normal breath. Oof, oof. That's it. You should not be giving. If you are giving too much, the lung will not able to get it.
Okay.
Right, or it will be getting too much. So just a small quick breath, 2 breaths is enough. Okay, again I am going back for compression. So this makes one cycle. Okay,
Again 30 compression. Again.
Yes, so 30 compression, 2 breaths, it makes one cycle of compressions. It makes a one cycle of CPR compression. So due to the COVID pandemic, what we have to do is just give 30 compressions, just open the airway. Okay, just open the airway, because there are chances it might get blocked, right? Just open the airway for a second. Again start with the compression. Again start with the compression. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have to go for 30 compressions. So this makes a cycle. Suffocation preserved, airway open, breaths given, 30 compression, hard and fast recoil, exhale chin lift, 2 deep breath and check for breathing. So after 5 cycles or 2 minutes of CPR, AED would have been arrived. So what is this function of AED? So what happens when you give an electric shock is, so this is how a normal heart functions. Loved up, loved up, loved up in a common layman term. So this is called as a fibrillating heart. Okay, this is a fibrillating heart. The heart condition will not be stable. It will be fibrillating. Okay, it will be fibrillating. So what does the AED does is, when the heart is in the fibrillating condition, the AED will deliver a shock to the person and it will stop the heart. This is the function of AED. When your heart functions normally, the AED will not give the shock. If your heart is not at all functioning, if your heart is just still like this, the AED will not give a shock to the person. Only in the fibrillating condition, when there is a malfunction in the heart, only then the AED will deliver shock to a person. So how to use an AED? It will be as simple as it. Okay, once you open the AED, you can able to see the clear instructions. Once you switch on, okay, once you switch on, it will automatically say what to do. When I switch on, it will ask you to say apply the pads. Can you able to see there are 2 pads over here? The diagram will be given where exactly to place it. You can see the diagram and you can place it and plug in. And automatically it will say what to do. Okay, we'll just demonstrate it. Once I switch on, it will say attach the pads. Taking the pads. Can you able to see the 2 diagrams? Okay, one must be in the upper side of the right chest and the other side in the lower side of the abdomen. So these are the 2 sides. The diagram is given. I am placing it. It must be placed in the skin only. It should not be placed on the clothes. It should be placed in the bare body. I am placing it. I will be putting it. It will say whether shock I need to give or not. So I will be switching on it. You can able to see.
Apply pads to patient's bare chest.
Apply pads.
Plug in pads connector next to flashing light.
I have applied the pads. I have to. There is a plug which is given. I have to do it.
Apply pads. Plug in connector. Analyzing heart rhythm.
Analyzing the heart rhythm.
Do not touch the patient.
Do not touch.
Analyzing interrupted.
Everybody move.
Do not touch the patient. Shock advised.
Shock advised. Charging.
Stay clear of
Stay
patient.
clear. Nobody comes near the patient or victim.
Deliver shock now. Press the orange button now.
So only when you press the orange button, the shock will be delivered. So you have to ensure that nobody is nearing and
Freedom shock delivered.
press it.
Hold. CPR.
So immediately it stays starts CPR. So again you have to start it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So every 2 minutes the AED will analyze the person's heart and it will say whether the shock is needed or it is not needed. Okay. So there is a simple video that I will explain.
Battery.
You can see the heart is having an abnormal rhythm. The AD is delivering a shock. You can able to see what exactly happens. I am attaching the pad, giving the electric shock. The heart would have been stopped. Okay, again I am giving CPR. Again it is getting the rhythm. So this is what is the function of AED. Okay, so this is the cycle. So when do you stop the CPR? Now we are giving the CPR. Right? So when can we stop? When the ambulance arrives, you can stop and you can say the person was not breathing. I was giving CPR for 2 cycles or how many minutes. So the person also can able to understand what is the situation. Okay. Or when the victim starts breathing, I am giving CPR. Suddenly the victim gasps. Okay. What you can do now? Again give CPR more faster.
No. Stop.
No? Stop it. What you will do? The person will be breathing. What do you have to do?
Bring him to safe breathing position.
Superb. We have to turn the person to the recovery position. So the victim starts breathing, turn the person to the recovery position. Or when you are too tired to give the compression. Okay, now let us assume you are giving compression for 10 long minutes. You are alone. Okay, you are alone, you are giving compression just for 10 minutes. So what will happen?
You yourself will be
You will be tired, you will be exhausted, right? And again you are receiving, if you are going to receive, you will be the next victim. Okay? So on that notice, you can stop it, take a break and again start it. Okay? If there are any people for assistance, call people for assistance, ask them to how to do. Is it difficult? No, right? This you can teach for anyone, right? So ask a person, ask them to hold their hands. The thing is, the heart must be compressed. The hands might be like this, the hands might be like this, any way it can be. Okay, what is the logic is, this must be compressed. So that is the key logic. Okay, so we have finished the BLS part. So we'll just quickly see 2 medical emergencies and we'll go to hands-on. Heart attack, blockage of blood flow in the blood vessels to the heart is called a heart attack. So these are the symptoms which you have already known, right? Chest in the pain spreading to the left arm and below, upper body pain, trouble breathing, sweating, nausea and vomit. So when you see these symptoms, okay, you can notice that it is a heart attack symptoms, and what you have to do is, step 1, call ambulance. Step 2, make the person like this. Okay, make the person sit like this. The logic is, okay, we are making the person sit like this. The blood flow to the legs is restricted a little. Okay, so that is why the reason you have to make them sit like this. Do not provide anything to drink or eat. Loosen the clothing. Do not make them stand or walk. So this is the mistake which most of the people does. Okay, you will be assuming that your own vehicle comes. The person will be sitting for a long time, and you ask them to walk all at a sudden. Okay, when you walk all at a sudden, what will happen? The blood suddenly rushes to the below part of the body. Suddenly the person might collapse. Okay, so if you want to even shift, but it is not advisable. Still, if you want to shift, lift the person and take into the own vehicle. Okay, perform CPR if the person is not breathing. So in case the person is losing the conscious, checking for breathing, no breathing, start the CPR. So this is for heart attack. and doctor has prescribed some tablets like aspirin, okay, you can give aspirin. If they are not prescribed, it is not advisable from my end, being a bystander. The doctor can say, but as a bystander, I cannot say it from the stage, so I am not advising it. So sudden cardiac arrest, sudden stoppage of heart due to electrical malfunction, okay. So all of the sudden, the person's heart will stop, or it will start to fibrillate, okay, the person will fall down. The best example that I can give you is the late Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir. So while he was delivering the seat, suddenly he collapses, right? So that is sudden cardiac arrest. Just we have to give the CPR following the protocol. You check for the tapping, you check, you call the ambulance, you check for the breathing. Only after assuring that the person is not breathing, you have to go for CPR. So this is the common difference. Heart attack is due to the blockage of blood vessels to the heart, but cardiac arrest is a sudden stoppage of heart due to electrical malfunction. Unattended heart attack might lead to sudden cardiac arrest. For example, they are making the person walk, right? So suddenly he is falling down. Because of that, the heart might stop. Okay, so this is the thing. So a small BLS recap. We are checking for scene safety, calling ambulance. We are checking for the breathing. If there is a breathing recovery position, if there is a no breathing, you go for CPR. So my part is over, right? So my part is over. If you have any doubts, if you have any queries, you can clarify. Meanwhile, we can do the hands-on. I request everyone to come forward, because on a Sunday morning, you have put your time to invest on something, right? It is worth to have the hands-on and fail here rather than failing in a real situation. Meanwhile, if you have any queries, you can clarify.
आप एक-एक करके
Yeah. Please, you
Yeah.
people are welcome to
एक-एक
sort
करके
of try
वहाँ
on
से
the
आप
man.
शुरू कर दीजिए मैम. Training
Check.
starts now.
The scene is safe. Okay, good. Check the response. Response first. Tap the shoulder.
Sir, how are you, sir? Sir, are you able to hear me, sir?
Okay, no response. What do you do? Check for breathing.
Breathing.
Check for-
What about ambulance?
Call.
Sir, ma'am, come and help me.
Good. One hand on the forehead. One hand on the forehead. Two fingers on the chin. Gently lift it. Two fingers on the chin. Gently. This hand here. Two fingers on the chin. Gently lift. Look at the abdomen. Look at the abdomen.
Abdomen. Yes.
Okay, the person is breathing or not?
Breathing.
Breathing. Oh my God. It's not possible.
तो
Yes, is not breathing. So place your heel in the center of the chest. Place your hips out to identify the center of chest.
How?
So this is the V. You can see there. Putting the point in there. This is the V point. Right? This is the V point. From the V point 2 inches above. From the V point 2 inches above.
यहाँ पे next
Where
to
exactly
वहाँ पे.
the center of the heart. Good. Place it like this, madam. Your hand must be facing that side. Okay. Lock it. Lock it. Elbow straight. Put your body weight over the person. Once you put over the person, only you can able to press. Okay. On my count, 3, 2, 1. Start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Open the airway for a second. Open the airway for a second. Okay, again start the compression. 30 compression, count loud. I want you to count loud.
5, 6,
Both of you, ma'am.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
Elbow
18, 19, 20.
Elbow straight. Elbow straight.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
10. Start with 20. Right, so this is how it ends. So when do you stop? Only the ambulance comes or the victim starts breathing or
you are tired.
You are too tired, you have to stop the CPR, right? Good.
And then you have to
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Open the airway for a second. Again start the compression. Open the airway. Again no response.
Can you hear me?
What do you do?
Can you please call the ambulance?
Can you call the ambulance? Please can you check whether the need?
सब लोग आके खड़े हो
Start
जाते
compression.
हैं
It start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
By the time
सीख रहे हैं सब लोग
You can pass the AED yourself and just 120 is here.
हाथ देखो
बहुत व्यस्त कार्यक्रम है, तो वो चाह रहे थे कुछ दो शब्द कहेंगे और वो हम लोग से बता देना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि आज बहुत बिजी है, आज संडे, आज कुछ ज्यादा ही चीजें हो रही हैं आपके साथ। तो प्लीज आप इस बारे में क्या बोलना चाहेंगे सुधीर जी?
हेल्पिंग हार्ट फाउंडेशन का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि उन्होंने मुझे यहाँ पे बुलाया। और अभी 2 शेरों की बात हुई थी तो मैंने सोचा एक शेर मैं भी सुना दूं। तुम जमाने की राह से आए, वरना बड़ा सीधा सा रास्ता था मेरे दिल का। तो ये जो दिल की बात है, ये CPR और बेसिक लाइफ सपोर्ट के बारे में तो आपसे अच्छा कोई बता नहीं पाएगा, लेकिन उससे पहले जो दिल के हालात हैं उन्हें कैसे ठीक रखा जाए। तो मैं एक बहुत ही ज्यादा दबाव वाले काम में हूँ, जर्नलिज्म, और खासतौर से जब आप एक एडिटर होते हो और गुड़गांव, फरीदाबाद, गाजियाबाद, नोएडा और लखनऊ जैसे सेंसिटिव जगहों को डील करते हैं तो तरह तरह के दबाव होते हैं। तो मुझे लगता है कि उसको डील करने का सबसे अच्छा तरीका यही होता है कि आप जिंदगी में सीधे रास्तों को चुनें। जब आपका रास्ता सीधा होता है और जब आप हक की बात करते हो, मतलब जो आपकी मेहनत है, जो आपका हक है, आप उसमें जीना सीखें। जब आप उसमें जीना सीख लेते हैं तो मुझे लगता है तब दिल पर लोड कम पड़ता है, तब आप पर प्रेशर्स भी बहुत कम पड़ते हैं, क्योंकि आप दबाव में तब आते हैं जब आप कुछ गलत काम करते हैं, आप टेढ़े मेढ़े रास्तों को अख्तियार करते हैं और कुछ ऐसा हासिल करना चाहते हैं जो आपके हक का नहीं है। तो मेरा हमेशा ये मानना है कि जितना, देखिए कुछ दबाव ऐसे हैं जिनसे आप बच ही नहीं सकते। जैसे अभी मैं निकलूंगा और अगर मैं बिना कुछ अपशब्द मुंह से निकाले गाड़ी में चुपचाप घर तक पहुंच गया तो ये बड़ी बात होगी। मतलब इतना ट्रैफिक और लोगों का जो सेंस है चलने का वो इतना खराब है कि आप घर से बाहर निकलोगे थोड़ा बहुत दबाव होगा, आप संत नहीं हो सकते, साधु नहीं हो सकते, लेकिन फिर भी जो हमारा अपना एक्ट है वो अगर बेहतर होगा, वो अगर सीधा होगा तो हम शायद दिल के रोगों से बच सकते हैं, क्योंकि हाई ब्लड प्रेशर नहीं होगा, तनाव जब नहीं होगा तो शुगर की प्रॉब्लम से भी हम थोड़ा बहुत बच सकते हैं। तो मुझे लगता है कि CPR और लाइफ सपोर्ट सिस्टम की हमें जरूरत ना पड़े, उससे पहले के लिए जरूरी है कि हम अपने रास्तों को एकदम सीधा साधा रखें। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।